Hello, I'm Laura the Library Lady, and welcome to this special COVID-19 video. In this video edition, boys and girls, I'll be teaching you how to make your very own face shield. Here's my prototype right here, and it's used to help me stay safe. I just tie it to where it is comfortable. And here I am. As you can see, it's very comfortable. And if you wear glasses, you can have your glasses on under it as well. You just may have to adjust it. But see, there you are. So let's get started. The materials that you will need to make this project are the following. You will need transparency paper that is so transparent I can't find it. Here it is. So you'll need transparency paper. You'll need scissors. You'll need a hole puncher. I have two, but you only need one that works. You'll need a special permanent marker. You'll need a tape measure. You'll need ribbon or string or other items, washi tape, or as I like to call it, a reusable adhesive. And an optional tool is a corner rounder. You don't have to have this. This is optional. Also, I have a newspaper down so I can clean up easily. So it's very important, boys and girls, when you're doing a project that you have all your supplies ready and that you clean up. So anything I drop or spill or write with a marker, my table is protected. So the first thing I do is choose my template. I chose the template shield. I got this from AccuCut. It's a cutting machine, and I cut this out with my own paper, and of course I laminated it. So you need to come up with a template that's good for you. You can use a shield. You can go under the computer, find a picture of a shield like a line drawing with your parents, find one that fits for you, and make a copy of it. You can make several copies of it, cut it out, and cut out different sizes on paper. You want to use paper before you use your transparency paper because this is hard to come by these days. Once you find a model that works for you, it can be your template, and you can even label it template. So I've taken my template and I've taken my washi tape that actually says exhale, beautiful, balance, and I've taped it onto my transparency paper. And I'm flipping it over, and I'm going to trace it on the side opposite of where I put the washi tape. So I have my permanent marker, and now I'm going to trace, and I trace this out. I follow along and I trace it out. If I make a mistake, it's okay. The permanent marker will come off with a wipe. There, one of the wipes that you use for cleaning. So once I tape it, this is what it looks like. Now, if you make a mistake or anything, it's okay. Once you do that, the next thing you do is you take your scissors and you cut it out. And here's my cut out shield. Now, boys and girls, when you're working with scissors, you have to be very careful. Mine are very sharp, so they actually come with a cover. And boys and girls, when you're working with scissors, you never point up scissors to someone. If you pass someone the scissors, you do so by the handle because you don't want anyone to get hurt. So I have cut out my shield. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out my holes. And I have a measuring tape for that. Now, boys and girls, a measuring tape, if you don't have one, you can use a ruler or you can just guess. I'm going to take it from the top. You see here on the top, because you can't go too far in. And I'm going to measure a 1/2 inch in from each side. And I measure and I put my dot there to help me. Now, do you have to do the dot? You don't have to. You can have your mom or dad or older brother or sister kind of estimate or guess for you. It does not have to be perfect at all. So once I do that, I have this hole puncher, but this hole puncher doesn't go all the way through. And if you have an old hole puncher like I do, you may have to use scissors to make those hold a little better or bigger. So I'm going to use my Monster Punch. And I'm going to go right in like this. And depending on what you're using, you can do 2 or 3 punches to make sure that the holes are big enough for what you're using. And I'll provide examples for you. So I'm going to punch it about 4 times. And as I'm punching, I have these little holes, these little circles bouncing all over the place. And so that's why I have this paper here so I can clean up. Okay. So I may want to trim, and I'll show you what I mean by trim. You don't want the interior of your holes to have any sharp edges. Okay. Because if they do, then it may tear up what you're putting through the hole. Okay. So once you're done with that step, you're going to take your smaller scissors. So you don't have to have scissors like mine. And if there's any sharp edges or anything within your hole, you may, because this is, ouch, I just stuck myself. Have to be careful, boys and girls. So you see, you may not be able to see it on camera, but there's a sharp edge inside of this hole that I made. So I'm going to just trim it just carefully, because you don't want it to snag what you're putting through there. Okay, just make sure it's a nice smooth hole. I'll put the cap back on here. Then, depending on who you're making this shield for, if it's for yourself or someone you love who's an adult, you can choose all kind of things. So this is for an adult. So I've measured it about 30 inches, but you just take your measuring tape and you can actually measure around your head and you can determine how big you want to make, or how long you want to make your attachment. So this is for an adult. It's about 30 inches approximately. And so I'm going to take it and I'm going to fold this like this. See how I'm folding this? Because this is ribbon and it may fray. You have to be careful with ribbon. So I'm sticking it through. And I'm just going to take the other side and I'm going to stick through here. Oops. Hopefully I did this correctly. If not, I just pull it out. And I make sure it's about the same length on both sides. Right now it's not. And there I have it. Now, since this is ribbon, it may fray. So you're going to take your scissors, and these scissors have to be sharp. You cannot do this with scissors that are not made for cloth because it'll just fray more. So when you trim it, make sure you're using the correct scissors. And you always cut ribbon on a diagonal to hopefully prevent it from fraying. But if it frays, you can also tie a knot at the end to keep it from totally coming apart. And then you have, and I always put the ribbon, see this ribbon side? I don't want the plastic to touch my face. So I have the ribbon side, see what I'm calling the ribbon side, touch my face, and then I can tie it around. Now the important thing about this, boys and girls, this is something that you could be wearing every day. So you want to handle it with care, and you can take out this ribbon and wash it with the soap and water you wash up with, and hang it, rinse it and hang it to dry. Okay? Also, okay, and so also this you can wipe down with a wipe to keep it clean, and you can actually wipe off the trim. Now I've made some great designs with mine. So I have this one. You can also use what I call pipe cleaners and kind of wear them like glasses if this doesn't bother you. La, 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 and just wrap them around your ears. I have another one that I have that I added some beads to. See my beads? See my beads? And I added a heart added the heart to the wrong side, but that's okay. And I just put it on like that. Isn't that cool, boys and girls? Yes. I'm a fashionista. Then for little ones, those old-fashioned ribbons we used to have, you can use that for a little one and make this smaller. Another really easy one that you can also add beads to are your shoelaces. So you have some old shoes, just pull them out and you can tie this around your head. No measuring, no cutting, no fraying. Great idea. And then a friend of mine, she gave me this wonderful ribbon. It's Kente cloth, so you can go ethnic. And I made this for another friend of mine, and I put on a sticker. See my sticker? So if you have a sticker, make sure it's not a paper sticker, because when you wash this or wipe it off, it could disintegrate. But these stickers are fine. You can also use string. You could also use yarn. I also have this as well. And you can add adhesive hearts. And I've got all kinds of adhesives that you can use to decorate your face shield. So if you don't have any of the transparency paper, if you're a friend of mine on Facebook, hit me up on Facebook Messenger. And I can, if you live in my area, I can make a time and place where we can meet so you can get some of this. Or just reach out on my YouTube channel, the Laura the Library Lady. And if you live near me, I can stop by, Montgomery County, Howard County, Prince George's County, Anne Arundel County. Maybe there's a day I can stop and people can come by and pick up this transparency paper totally free. So please contact me if you have any questions or you need the transparency paper. Everything else should be available in your home. And remember, boys and girls, once you do a project, you have to clean up. This is all for this episode. Thank you. Bye.